here on the virtual platform for the national webinar on the topic Financial Independence Refined and Redesigned for Women. The college has been conducting a webinar series. The theme of the webinar series is Women Empowerment, and the purpose behind this webinar series is to gain knowledge and enrich ourselves so that it can be useful for the individuals, the society, and the nation. The trustees of the institution are our strong moral support. The webinar series is going on very smoothly and without any interruption, and it is due to the hard efforts of the chief organizer and chairperson of this webinar series, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Ambedkar sir. At the outset of this national webinar, I heartily welcome you, sir, as the chairman and presiding authority of this webinar. I am also happy to welcome today's honorable keynote speaker and chief guest, Prathibha Vikram ma'am, who is going to enlighten us on the topic Financial Independence Refined and Redesigned for Women. On behalf of the organizing committee of webinar series, I welcome you, ma'am, as the chief guest and keynote speaker. I also welcome the whole of organizing committee for this webinar series and especially for the today's national webinar. We all are very eager to listen the keynote speech, but prior to it, it would be pleasure for us to have the introduction of the chief guest. So I request Dr. Anita Dole ma'am for the introduction of today's chief guest and keynote speaker. Please ma'am, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. You are welcome to this webinar organized by Shri Kumarswami College, Ausa. Firstly, I am very thankful to respected Principal Dr. Ambedkar MM for giving me this opportunity to introduce resource persons on this virtual platform. My special thanks goes to all the respected participants, respected Karad sir and IQSC coordinator Dr. Kale sir. So it's my pleasure I am here to introduce today's keynote speaker, Honorable Prathibha Vikram, Senior Assistant Professor, New Horizon College from Kasturinagar, Bengaluru. Title of speech is Financial Independence Refined and Redesigned for Women. Prathibha ma'am is a postgraduate in 3 streams, MCom in Computer Application, PGDFT Post-Graduation Diploma in Finance and Taxation, MBA in Finance and pursuing PhD in Finance at Vishweshwaraya Technology University. She has 15 years of experience and is an innovative and talented professional with the ability to work independently and in a team. She also contributed rich knowledge in a project sponsored by Government of India called Sahyog and Vikasana based on job skills and life skills for rural degree students. Currently, she is working as a senior assistant professor at New Horizon Degree College, Kasturinagar, Bengaluru. She has presented number of research papers at international conferences. She filed 4 patents and authored 1 book with title Security Analysis and Portfolio Management during the year 2022. So after this introduction, I would like to request today's keynote speaker, Honorable Prathibha ma'am, please start your presentation. Thank you. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that sweet introduction. Thank you, Bedkar sir. It's a pleasure to be back on this platform again. I would just like to share my screen. Is it visible fully?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So, good evening to one and all present here. Like we already said, it is financial independence redefined and redesigned for women. So, I thank the organizers for inviting me and giving me this platform. So, to begin with, I would like to start with three different aspects today. First is, what do you mean by investments, basically? And then going ahead, what do you actually aspire to redefine, and how women are involved with this investments? So here, when I start with it, you can all see the screen change to investments, right?
Yes. No. Not screen changed. Just first screen is there. You please. No, it's in investment. Investment is the heading.
Okay. I think I should reshare it. Now, can you all see it?
Yes.
Investment is in, sir?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Investment.
Yes. So let's actually first define what investment is. Nothing but when you're actually having some savings, you've started earning some income, and in that income, your expenditure is cancelled. There is something left out. That is called as savings. So in that savings, how much can you plan for your future? That future, let's say I have saved 10,000 today. That same 10,000, if I keep it under my pillow, it will be as 10,000 only. But it should add some value. After 1 year, if it fetches me 11,000, then it is termed as investment. 10,000 as it is, 10,000 is not called as investment. It is just called as security, safeguarding that. But if you are adding value to that, that means it is investments. That means there is something added as value to the basic. If it improvises, it enhances that basic investment, that is termed as investment. There are two phases for this investment. Basically, the two considerations, what we call it as, is the risk and return. You and I, being a rational human being, we expect returns. Why we expect returns? Because every time I put even 100 rupees, I want 110 rupees. I don't want it to reduce to 90 rupees. That is called as rational humans, where we are risk averse. We don't want risk. We don't want to put 100 rupees and get back only 50 rupees and all. We don't want to see the loss. Basically, what we want is profit. Here, when I say investments, there are a lot of avenues, investment avenues. I'll get back to this slide. The basic definition and the investment analysis, all those things was done by Warren Buffett. He's like the godfather of this investment analysis. What he has described is, like, there are many definitions he has given. One of which is suitable was, someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Because tree would take a long time. This is the same way how investment is described. Today, if I am investing the 10,000, it will grow to become a little larger after a long period. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, there are many chit funds and other things we have come across in the newspapers where they claim that, today you invest this much money, later it will become double. You'll get 20,000, you'll get 25,000. And after a few days, they run away. So this is the risk factor which I was talking about. People want returns in a faster pace today. But actually what happens is, there is a long period, you have to wait for it, only then the returns are fetched. Here, talking about the investor, investment avenues. Basically, what type of investments are there? We start as a layman. First thing is bank deposits. We know money is coming from the bank, so we deposit there. We have fixed deposits, we have different recurring accounts and other things, plannings for from the bank we start. After that, we move to something called as the stocks, bonds. Not every common man is investing in stock market. But post office schemes, I think most of them are planning today. There are mutual funds. Most of it, where they come out from is the knowledge of these things are there in newspapers, in the media. They advertise. There is Atal Pension Yojana schemes, even in the banks as well as in post office given to all of them. So there is one age criteria where the income is coming in. You can plan all these things and all. There are many types of investment ideas. There is PPFs, that is public provident funds. There is national saving certificates, NSCs, and there is pension schemes, like I already mentioned. The new type of innovative schemes today comes from the call money market and the money market, where there are some, commercial deposits, certificates of deposits, and there is treasury bills. All these are also short-term money-making techniques, but you should have some knowledge basically before you enter into such transactions. So now, moving ahead with my presentation, I would also like to introduce you to a term called portfolio. When I say investments, portfolio comes attached with it. What is this portfolio? Like Warren Buffett has already told, do not put all the eggs in one basket. I repeat this statement. Do not put all the eggs in one basket. What will happen if all the eggs are in one basket? If the basket drops, all the eggs are gone. In the same way, we are not supposed to add all our investments in only one thing, because by chance that investment drops, we lose the entire investment, which will become a very depressing scene, that so many years you have earned so much of saving. Only one investment you did, because of which everything is washed out. So we have to be careful in analyzing it. How to be careful like this? We should take it as a diversification. What is diversification? Here, when I say diversification, we should spread our investments. We should not put it in one place. We should invest in gold. We should invest in real estate. We should also invest in stock. We should invest in fixed deposit also. Like this, when we diversify, that means spread our investments, we have a lot of opportunities. By chance, stock market did not run well. There is gold, which is appreciating. There is real estate, which is still got an appreciation. After 5 years, the land value is expected to grow. So these type of things will add value. So that is the reason we say diversification is important. That is nothing but portfolio. Portfolio means they actually analyze how much of investment should be made in what. This year, gold is running good, so you can invest in gold. Next year, if the gold prices are fluctuating too much, because there's a lot of rise that has happened last year, even during the COVID period, gold has been rising. After that, if it gets into stagnation, they will try to advise that there is something else where you have to enter into, and maybe this particular company will be doing good in the next coming 2 years. So this is what. So there is somebody called as portfolio manager who will advise you with a proper analysis. Next, before I come to women investment, I wanted to actually show you a slide where it talks about the generation study. Generation study is not just statistically saying that, 100 years, 19th century, we divide it into 4, 25, 25, 25, 25. It's not like that. It's the age group where our grandparents, their parents, how the generations have come. See, when we talk about women investment, I personally feel that, there is no need to look at it like a competition. Man and woman, like how we say Ardhanarishwara, they both are equal. They are two specimens created by nature. But when it comes to investment, it has become a trend these days for women. Otherwise, it was inheritance, hereditary, that only son should be having. Laws have changed today. Even daughter is getting equal, amount of inheritance and all. We know that. But that has started very recently. Prior to this, if you all can see the slide, generation study, there is greatest generations, which is in 19th century to 27. Then there came silent generation. This is the World War, the years in which India has seen a lot of things. The whole globe has seen a lot of things that has happened. After independence came the baby boom generations. These are something where our grandparents were born, I can say, where no, the elder generations, very few are still in the from this generations, and they continue as the people who are going to be 60 plus now. And then we have the generation X, that is where a few of you might be put in, few of you might come to generation Y. Millennials, these are the actual investors today, the core investors of today's industry or any platform. When you see, it is the millennials. The next generation which is coming up, the Z, that is the Z, how you call it as, they are very fast movers. They want everything in the span of fingertips. So this is how the generation runs. So now coming to the, like I said, the man and the woman, how to differentiate between them. When you see these four generations, there was no much of, impact that the ladies or women should have more of money and all. But when you come to millennials and the next coming up generations, the way women are thinking will differ, and the way the generations are looking at it will also change. Before I give the brief on this, there's one small sharing of a story I wanted to do. There was this generation millennials who were called for a meeting, and they were like 5 girls and 5 boys who were called, basically men and women. So they just asked this question saying that can you please tell how many of you do cycling, okay, mountaineering, or what can we say, trekking. Everybody were going equally. There was a race type of thing where they said, can you raise your hands, or can you actually, tell how many of you are doing this. So there everything, even in swimming, cycling, everything, physical activities, call it dancing, singing, everything, men and women are equal. Then there was a question asked, how many of you have insurance in your own name? How many of you have house property in your own name? How many of you have any investments, basically these type of things in your own name? That is when the women had to back out, only men had. So these type of generation gap, or I can say, the gap in the psychology that men have to inherit investments. They are meant to earn. This type of, psychological impact is still existing. Even though when I say generations have come over it, it is still there. The next generation is going to be a different aspect. So let's look at the women investors today. When I say women investors, like I said, they have come across in these many days. Only from this generation X, Y, Z, you can see more of investors. Otherwise, they independently didn't want to have money in their own names. Nowadays, they are actually realizing that I am also earning, I also have income, I also need to make investments in my own name. I can also go out and, spend my money for the trips, for the travels, everything. So this is how, otherwise it is more basically, somebody else. I want only my child's education, only for that reason I'm earning. I am not earning for me. This was the impact in most of the women. Coming to the, sorry, I just moved to the next slide. Coming to this, the stock market study says that there are globally 24% of the stock investors who are women, and in India there are 21% of female investors what we have. That is who are investing in stock market. When you come to the Indian study, where women investors are coming from NCR is basically the 16 to 17 cities from Delhi. Bengaluru stands the next with 9%. Among 100, only 10 are there. Among 100, only 9.43 is there. Even this is not very, what can I say, very good number actually. Though we say we are equal, though we say in thinking of money aspect, even now, husbands would invest in the name of their wife or the mother or anybody, daughter, just to save tax. It's like a tax shelter. It is not an independent, giving to the wives. Or sometimes it's just that, they want to save their tax. They invest on their spouse name, so that the tax burden is reduced. These are the tricks where individually investments on women is very less. Usually they are housewives or they could be something else, but independently their own much of investments. This is what I have realized by the research I have done. Coming to the women investment patterns, there is a 14.5 percentage of stock brokers as women. See, I'm not talking about the investors now, I'm talking as brokers who are working as the middlemen, the brokers. Even there, the number of women is very less. Though they tend to say that they are growing and they have all the aspects there, this is actually growing very slow, I can say. The top Indian investors, these are the names I have just listed it out. These are the startup ecosystem women entrepreneurs who started businesses and they have made it up to a top level today. So you can see Vani Kola, Bharti Jacob, Shashi Chopra and many more. So these are the top women investors. I just had to name them. Now, planning for women, how to make a plan as how they can actually invest and how they can actually, go ahead with investments. I would like to give some tips for the listeners. Educate yourself about the basics of the investments. That means you have to learn how actually investments should be made. It's not like emotionally getting into something just because my friend said I'll take it up. It shouldn't be like that. You should actually do a background verification. You have to do research before you start your first investment. Make sure that investment is not a loophole or they're not fooling you, because there are a lot of internet aspects where they tend to make you feel that there is a good return on the investments you're doing, but actually they can cheat you. So make sure you just get into the whole aspect of how this investments run and then put your money into that. Never get emotional while investing, like I said, and sign up for a retirement plan, because today's investment, like how the tree grows and helps you, that is where you will need it when you're growing older. One more thing while I was researching I found was women tend to live longer. So what happens is they should plan their retirement aspects more, because what the research says, they have much longer lifespan than a man. So in that case, we have to plan for a longer period and we have to save more money, which is very disturbing to tell, because it sounds very as an Indian to say such things. Is it really true? Yes, it is. And we don't tend to plan like that. We feel like that is not the way to see it. We shouldn't be thinking like that and all. There's so many traditional ways we are raised with that we don't see it like that. But in reality, this is how the scientific reasons speak out. The statistical researchers have actually claimed it to be. Then the realistic goals you can afford. You should actually plan for an investment. Realistic, it should come out after when you really need it. It shouldn't be like after you're already 40, you're planning for another 40 years. They should be more realistic. You can plan for 10 years, 15 years, or if you are just 20, you can plan for another 25 years to 30 years, where actually the fruits come out when you really need it. So planning when you need it is more important. Then seeking a professional advice, like I told you, portfolio manager or anybody likewise is preferable. You can go to banks and take an advice. They could even charge you sometimes when it is a very economically well-planned advice they give you. So going ahead, there are some excellent quotes by Warren Buffett, which I already made. One of them on investment was, do not put all the eggs in one basket. I just told that. On earnings, he says you shouldn't have just one single income. There should be many other incomes. Even though when you're going to sleep, there should be some earnings that should be falling into your basket. So there are many speakers like Jack Ma and others who have actually made such statements. Well, we'll have to plan it out first. Let the first income, basic income be strong. Then we can circulate other incomes. This is what I felt. So on spending, if you buy things you do not need, soon you will have to sell things you do not need. That means you don't start purchasing everything. Just because you have some money today, you shouldn't be a spendthrift on buying everything that is attractive. People say car is very important, but do you have a road to actually run that car? You should just check that. Because, I have seen a lot of small roads having big, huge cars which are parked outside their houses. So you have to actually plan yourself what you want to invest in. Just because my neighbor or my friend took a car, we should not be purchasing it. Do you really need it? Do you want to invest in it? Are you ready to go for such an investment with the EMIs to pay? These are the plannings you'll have to do. On savings, Warren Buffett has told that do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after. This is like saying that, first you plan your savings, then you start spending. So priority should be given to savings first, then you start other expenditures. So, like I said, investment is based on savings only. If you can't save anything, there is no tomorrow. That is what it actually means. Taking risk. Risk is like another phase. It's like the two faces of the coin. One side of the coin, like the heads, is returns. The other face of the coin is risk. So where there is investment, there will be either risk or return. So here he says, never test the depth of the river with both the feet. That means don't jump into it. Don't conclude it. Just put one leg and check whether you can stand there or whether it's too deep. So you're just trying to, like what I said in the previous slides, you have to research, you have to redo the work, and then come to the confirmation of whether it is worth putting your money. And then the last, honesty is very expensive gift. Do not expect it from cheap people. This is what I was talking about, the cheating characters, where they tell you that there is fast returns, there is double the income you'll earn. All those things they will tell you and they will try to pull in. So you should be very careful because they are not honest. They can cheat you. So you better be smart when you're investing your money. Going ahead, I want to introduce all of you to something new, which is termed as the pink tax. Before I conclude, I just want to introduce you. Anybody is aware of this pink tax?
No.
Have you heard of this before?
No.
No. Okay. So I just want to tell you that this is in the marketing area how they try to gimmick. That means this is there is nothing called in the existence pink tax, but what they do is they purposely raise the price of what woman is buying so that they can actually acquire more profit. This is from a seller's point of view. They differentiate. Let's say a man is buying a razor to shave. That price is different, where the woman's razor, which is actually manufactured very similar to this, will be rated different. So they try to, the marketer tries to bias both the products. He sells the product for women with a higher price and sells the, let's say a salon. You go as a man for a hair massage or something. It is hardly 150. But then a woman goes. Your spouse is gone or your sister or anybody is going. 350 to 500. Why this difference? This is not questionable, but there is something called as pink tax, which is identified and getting recognized these days. In the future, upcoming days, there will be a law which will actually forbid this pink tax. That means they actually differentiate between the prices. This is from the marketer. They actually try to make this. Just read up on this would be a commonly used to describe a situation where things associated with women are priced higher than those with men, like the examples I just gave you. It is not enforced yet. It is not coming to the brightness yet, but soon, within 3 years, by 2025, I'm expecting a lot of changes that will happen, and federal laws will also come out saying that this bias should be stopped. And this phenomena is often attributed to gender-based price discrimination. We have price discrimination. What happens is in finance, when you go deeper into finance, there is something called as derivative market, where the commodity market, the bullion market, all these things are there. Markets, financial markets, I can say. So in these financial markets, there is something called as arbitrage. Arbitrage is nothing but, like, let's say I'm buying a cup of coffee or tea inside our own, let's say in the university or in the college premises. It costs me around 15 rupees. For example, the same coffee if I go outside. So what happens is this is called as price difference. Okay. So there is an opportunity cost. That means if there is a seller who goes buys it for, he's buying it for 10 rupees and coming and selling it to you for 15 rupees, during the working hours, you are not allowed to go there. So now what happens in this particular market, within these 3 hours, he has an opportunity of making 5 rupees extra because you are not supposed to go out of the gate and purchase that. So what happens is these type of price differentials which exist, some of them make an opportunity out of that and they gain more money. It's called as arbitrage. Okay. So in derivatives market, we actually teach all these things. Here, pink tax is a raising issue today because they are making price discrimination and they are trying to make more money out of it. So in the future, you can expect a legal term. By now, out of February 23, there has been no federal laws passed. Initially, just to keep you in track, these are the examples I give you: the soaps, the deodorants, and the lotions and all. If you go to even hair oil, all these things, many of them, there is a lot of gap. There is face wash and other things. No, you find this price differences. This is the upcoming next topics which will actually be upheld. So with this, I would like to conclude my speech today. So you can actually ask me any questions you have.
I would like to request participants if they have any question or doubt after the illustrative keynote speech by the honorable speaker. I call and request participants for discussion, questions and doubts. Please.
नमस्ते मैडम।
Namaste.
मेरा एक सवाल है, जैसे हमें पुरुषों की तुलना में महिलाएं आज भी जैसे पूरी आजादी है इन्वेस्ट के लिए, फिर भी थोड़ा मैं पिछड़ा हुआ मानता हूँ, यानी पीछे मानता हूँ कि जैसे मैं अपने घर की ही बात बता दूं कि सब पढ़े लिखे हैं, सब पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट हैं, तो जैसे हम बैंक वगैरह का काम करते हैं वे नहीं कर पाते, हम फोर्स करते रहते हैं कि आप जाइए, ये चेक होता है ये के लिए, तो ऐसा आप किस दृष्टि से देखते हैं? ये मतलब ये आलस है या मतलब ज्ञान की कमी है?
सर एक्चुअली बेसिकली नो वो ज्ञान की कमी के ज्यादा भी एक चीज है कि व्हाट हैपेंस इज इवन हमने उनको तो वो करना नहीं चाहते क्योंकि बहुत दे हैव सीन देयर ग्रैंडपेरेंट्स, उनकी दादी माँ, कोई नहीं जाता था ना, तो उनको लगता है ऐसे चलता है, इसको चलने दो, क्या फर्क पड़ेगा. So that attitude should change. Now, if I tell them to get the check done or get the signatures done, it is very tedious for them. They are not seeing it like even I should know this. This is also money. I should be aware of it. Until the pressure falls on them, they will not do it. There are ladies who have come out of it, but few of them feel comfortable. वो एक होता है comfort zone. उनका comfort zone बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है. अगर उन्होंने नहीं सीखा तो भी कोई परवाह नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, चलेगा. इस comfort zone से अगर वो बाहर निकलेंगे, उनको they have to do. They have no choice. ऐसा अगर खड़ा कर दिया तो वो करेंगे, जरूर करेंगे. पर अभी जो है ना, they are in their comfort zone. They are comfortably sitting. They know even if they don't do it, it is in somebody's safe hands. So they are comfortably going ahead with it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir?
Thank you, Javeer Singh sir. Is there anybody who has the doubt, question, or wants to put his view?
Good evening, Prathibha Ahmed from Hyderabad.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
It was a very wonderful panel. At the outset, I congratulate you for pursuing PhD in Commerce and Management. I also belong to your fraternity.
Thank you, sir.
It was a really wonderful explanation in a very, very simple and lucid manner. And it's one of the backbone of every activity, right, from household to any industrial jet. And the way you have explained, really wonderful. And how to investment, how saving concept, and Warren Buffett's concept of investment. That's really, this is the need of the hour at this juncture. where the money is very scarce resource.
Yes.
We need to use it very optimally, and various investment opportunities. You said that really many of us really, despite we are into the academics, but despite that we are not aware of it, where to invest, where not to invest. You have made very elaborated, and I must congratulate you and Vikram for bringing you for the benefit of the this, program. So I'm heartfelt thank to you and the whole organizers for today's lecture. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your compliments and for your views about the keynote speech. Is there anybody else?
Should I check the chat box, sir? Is there any questions there? I'll just check that.
Okay.
There are no questions there, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for your illustrative and very good speech on the topic. Now, after this keynote speech and discussion, I would like to invite chairperson of this webinar, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Ambedkar, sir, for his views about the keynote speech. Please, sir, welcome.
Thank you, Professor Karad sir and Dr. Dhole madam, Jamuntra Kadam sir, Professor K.N. Kadam sir, Dr. Hari Singh sir, Badruddin sir, Dr. Balaji Popne sir, and today's resource person Prathibha Vikram madam. It's the second time you have appeared here, and this topic was related to economics teachers. Our Badruddin sir always discuss with the economics and financial issues every day with every resource person, those who are dealing with the economics side. So most of the webinars we have conducted on economical, financial, all these things, and here is a Badruddin sir always discusses. Today also you have started with the right definition of investment, and then you shared the study where the women are lagging behind with the story, and that after that lastly you have said that pink tax, it is a very thing to same material, same thing, but it is useful by some gender, then it the prices are high, and that law should come. So these basic things from this economic side, new thing are known to me and mostly to all of us. So your study with this in this field will go ahead in future also, and also congratulations for filing 4 patents from your side, and in future also you may file more and more, and in future also you will be invited for delivering speech, this like speech in future also. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. And now I am here out of thanks. I would like to thank Honorable keynote speaker who has accepted the invitation of our college and spared her time to enlighten us on the topic about the investment and how it is necessary for all. The speech was well illustrated, and so we all have understood. So thank you, ma'am, on behalf of the organizing committee. I also thank Chief Organizer, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Ambedkar, sir, for incessantly working hard to continue this webinar series, because of which all of us can exchange knowledge and enrich it. So thank you, sir. I thank Dr. Anita Dhole, ma'am, who has given very good introduction of today's keynote speaker. I also thank all the participants for their attendance, for their active participation in the discussion session. So I thank all the participants. And now I request participants, please do not forget to fill feedback link. We have your certificates Thanks to all. Thank you very much. We shall meet tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Bedkar sir. Thank you, organizers, for giving me this opportunity. It's my pleasure to be back and give the speech. Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay, madam. You can leave and take rest. We will keep this for 5 minutes. Okay. Thank you.